right, guys, welcome back to Noob 101. So, you've got your resources, you've got them dialed in, you've looked around the neighborhood, you've reached out to people, you understand who the coalitions in the region are. It's time to build some buildings. So, the first thing we have to talk about is this. If you do not have recruiting offices, build them in all of your territories immediately. I say if because it's been a long time since I played the tutorial game, but I'm pretty sure that you do not start off with them in the tutorial game, which means you will have to build them. Build them in all of your territories. In later games, like the 100-player maps and the 500-player maps that a lot of us play on, you start with them. But you'll need to build them. And you do want to build them because that's what starts the process of infantry spawning in all of your territories. And it takes time. Sometimes, I think it's like a day is the standard thing. But you want to get all of your territories starting to spawn infantry. That is the backbone of any army. No matter how tech and advanced your units become, you need that sort of meat shield, that bio army of infantry. So get those going right away. Next, build a fortress in territories that border with a player character. When you scroll out, look at their name, scroll out, and look for this alone guy. He's all alone, as opposed to with boxes or something behind him. Okay, if it looks like this and it's alone, it's a player character. And you may want to build a fortress on your border with them. Player characters are human, and humans are unpredictable. Now, keep in mind, if you've already reached out to this person and they've said, "Yeah, let's work together," I wouldn't build a fortress there. I'd use that 2,000 steel, 2,000 iron that it costs to build it. I'd use it somewhere else. And typically, I don't build more than, say, 3 or 4, so I try to put them strategically. One thing I've told people is if you have a territory right on the corner that's surrounded on 3 sides by player characters, by 1 or 2 player characters, you might want to put a fort there because he can be attacked from 3 different countries, right? So just place them as you wish. You'll get better at it with time, I promise you, but you will want a couple forts on the ground. They're very powerful defensively. We'll talk more about how powerful they are when we get into strategy. Okay, go ahead and stack some troops in there. You'll see what is opposing you. You'll see what could potentially run in. And again, my safety ratio is 2 to 3. For every 3 troops out there, I want 2 troops inside because you have that natural advantage. You don't have to put as many people in there. But so, for instance, if there are 30 troops that could potentially attack me, I'll keep 20 in the fortress. You don't need as many because you have that automatic benefit of having concrete and steel surrounding your troops. It gives you an automatic advantage. Some players say you only need half as many, but that's playing it close to the wire. You probably would be okay only stacking half. You say, well, why would I want to put less? Well, because you are going to be attacking and conquering. So you want as many in your conquering army as you can get and leave behind as few as you can possibly to maintain the integrity of your borders, right? So I still say 2 to 3. Somebody's coming at me with 21. I want to keep 14 in the fortress, right? For every 3 attacking, I want 2 inside. If you have that, there's no way you'll fail. You're gonna win. So that's what I go with. If a neighbor is AI, again, they've got these. Some people joke like these are the computer banks behind him of the computer AI, the overlord. That's silly, of course, because 1914 they didn't have any kind of supercomputers. But that's what some people say it looks like. If you see this, you know it's an AI, and don't worry about them. Don't stack anything defensively against them. Again, you need those units to be a conquering army. So you're going to gather them in the direction that you want to start to attack. Don't waste troops guarding a border with an AI. Early in the game, they won't attack you. An AI will not attack you. But be careful later on, say by day 20, 25, they might randomly attack you. But we're not worried about that right now. We're trying to use all of our resources the best possible way we can. Now, another thing, early in the game, you might see this at first, but the game is still populating. So players are still joining the game, right? Every once in a while, you'll be next to this, and it suddenly turns to this. That means that a human came in and took that country over from the AI as that early game population happens. So be aware of that. Be conscious of that. If you see that human all of a sudden appear, send them a message. Hey, do you want to work together? And hopefully you'll get something friendly back. If not, you might have to build a fortress there as well. Okay, We can build railways on day 5 and factories on day 8. Not worth talking about right now. Finally, I would recommend that you build barracks on all of your double resource tiles. You're going to be building a lot of things on your double resource tiles. Your double resource tiles are sort of the beating heart of your country. They produce twice as much material as anything else, but they also produce infantry faster. So when you put down that barracks, what the barracks does is it gives you a percent bonus, I think a 50% bonus, on how fast those troops spawn. So the idea is always you want to put that percent bonus on a higher base generation. So by putting them on the double, you're actually increasing the percentage by 50% of a larger number of troops. So build those barracks on your double resource tiles. If you happen to have a lot of wheat in your country, and some just have a lot of wheat, you'll have a double wheat and then 2 other wheats or something, you might even want to build barracks on a couple of your single tiles. This will give you a troop advantage. Okay, you'll generate those infantry faster, and by the time you get into the game a little bit, it will make a difference. You'll have more troops to throw to that front. Okay, well, that's it, guys. I'm trying to keep these short and sweet in terms of early buildings. Next, we're going to talk about what to do if you can't afford these buildings. What if you don't have enough iron and you really want to have a fortress somewhere? We're going to talk about going over to the stock market and buying resources. That's for next time. I'll see you guys. Adios, amigos.